Now entering Nerdist.com.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Oh, here we are.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Jackie.
Guess what I got? A little bit of a voice.
It's back.
I'm what I have right now is just a cold, like a person.
Do you want to get your gig back? Can you do that?
I love that is the first
I've
thing.
been obsessed with that you canceled
Get this.
a gig.
They rebooked me 3 weeks from now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think I've ever been rebooked so quickly. and I've never had to cancel because of sickness, so maybe
Yeah.
that's what did it.
That's
and
great.
I also did not know. I think I texted you. I said I didn't know that I was friends with the club owner on my
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
That's weird. That happens
felt-
every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know. It must have been when I was confirming. Because I don't know that I would have been like, yes, that's what I want. I want to be friends with all the club owners in the world.
Well, some cool people are opening comedy clubs now. It's not like ex-strip club owners that
No,
decide.
and this
to
guy's a
comics up
perfectly
instead.
nice guy.
Yeah,
There's no reason not to. But I mean, it did feel uncomfortable. So it was like, I was like, oh, okay. But I'm uncomfortable.
Well,
what are you going to do? What are you going to...
You're totally uncomfortable all the time.
Exactly. So
As
you...
Yeah, my hand is swollen. I was at the Lyric on Hyperion,
Yeah.
and Hyperion is a very dark street.
Yes.
You know that at night, right?
Yeah.
And I parked up a ways, even though apparently I had a parking spot right near the
that they had
yeah,
saved?
Ian Abramson saved, but I forgot or something. So I parked way up, and as I was walking to the club on my left side, I saw something move, and I thought it was a cat, and I kind of leaned in, and it was a person, and I was like, fuck, and I just kept walking. I didn't know what that was, but it was very
Did
startling.
the person respond?
No, I don't know if they were just shifting or asleep or whatever, but they were like in a bush.
Oh, sort of chilling.
Who knows? It was pitch
Right.
black. I
Right.
saw movement, and then it was a person. And so when I was walking back from my set, I was walking very quickly past that area. I of course
Yeah.
didn't ask anyone to walk me to my car.
Right. Why would you? Because that would be safe and wonderful.
What I decided to do was walk really fast on a unlit street.
That's uneven, by the
It's
way.
very uneven across bricks, and I tripped, and I went face first, and
Took a header?
yeah, a little bit on the chin, the knee, but mostly my left pinky. And I fall. I'm kind of clumsy, but I was in real fucking pain. And I had to like stop, and I was like, if this person
What time
attacked
was
me, I would be.
Yeah, they would win.
Yeah, they'd win.
Yeah, that's what
I would lose that fight.
You would lose that fight because you'd alreys already.
was, like, just
you had already
stunned.
knocked yourself
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I did half the work for a rapist right there.
Oh my
So
god!
anyway, so then I toughed it out like I
like you do.
did after I fell on my wrist when I was pregnant, and then I went into labor, and then
Oh
I
my
found
God.
out. Then I went to we have a nurse at the studio, and her little location's right next to Conan's our studio. So I popped in, and nurse, like. I don't know if all nurses like, but this lady, other people that have gone to her, like, she's so caring. She's like, oh my gosh. And she just started wrapping it very lovingly. And I'm like, this is like having a mom, like a real mom that's not nagging me. She's just worried about me. And she said, she's like, I'd get that x-rayed if I were you. So I'm getting that done tomorrow.
Oh, good. Do you remember when there was a nurse's office in the grade school? I don't know. They probably still have them.
Yeah.
But there was like a full-time nurse who would
Yeah.
be there, and you're like,
What a gig that must be, right?
yeah. It was and
Just-
she was dressed like something out of TV too. I remember that too.
Because half the diagnosis is, oh, you're having your period. It's come.
Yeah. We had it in grade school, so it was like, it was, oh, you don't want to go to math.
Oh,
Is what
yeah,
it was
sure.
kind of mostly. It was like, I don't like my teacher.
I would go to the infirmary and sleep at lunch hour because I was so sleepy from swim practice.
Oh yeah, I bet from all the working out.
Yeah.
And the running from your coach.
Very early on, I didn't know how to
Yeah.
live.
Right, right.
still there.
You're still practicing the overdoing it and then falling over in it.
So this is our last day of work for 10 days or something. And it's
Oh,
our
you don't have
first,
to work tomorrow?
No, first
Congratulations.
hiatus since we've had a couple weeks where we weren't taping shows, but we went in every day and kind of
Yeah,
just
yeah.
worked on pieces for the future.
Yeah.
So this is the first week off where I could just completely unplug from the news, I hope. But it's fucking fascinating news right now. Michael Flynn, we're taping this Thursday night, the night that Michael Flynn offered to testify for immunity. It's like, what?
Right.
It's
I'd like to.
nuts.
First of all, just be a good person, and you don't get immunity. How about that?
He's a crazy dick. You
Yeah,
can't
he's a
offer
horrible
a crazy
person.
amount of immunity.
No,
you know?
no,
and
'cause
you
then
gotta
he's still
go
out there.
higher up.
Right. Then he's still out there.
Yeah.
If you offer that guy immunity.
You got to throw. This has got to be a lesson to the military. You got to throw that fucking 3-star piece of shit general in prison for what he did, which
Right, and then
was
watch him.
taking money from Russia and Turkey,
Yep.
and not telling people, and working as an agent for Turkey while he was working. It's just so fucking wrong.
Right. On so many levels.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Whoops, I lost sound. Can you still hear me?
Can you do that?
Yeah. Okay,
There
that
you
happened.
go. That's what I've been doing. There's a short in the cord. Kyle.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. You're like, it's nerdist.
I hope you
fuck.
never get the power you crave, because we just saw who you'll become.
You love me abusing it and then bailing immediately. I texted Kyle on the way over here. I said, hey, I'm going to come over, but I'm going to try to strong arm my way onto Josh and Josh. So I'd get there at 10:30. And by the time I'd gotten over the hill, I was like, no, I'm done.
Tired.
I'm already tired. It's
Did you
today's
do
the
any
first
spots
real
this
day.
week?
I did. I had to give up kind of what were two very fancy spots.
Yeah.
And then I just did. It was a lovely spot. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that I don't appreciate the work, Flappers
Yes.
Yoo-Hoo Room. 20 minutes, though. I did not know it was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I blew up my voice a little bit, even though there's an amplification system. And I should have just whispered my fucking set like I
had him
wanted
turn
to.
it up a notch.
Turn it up a notch. There's only 30 people in there anyway. And it was
I hate
storytelling.
when people drop the mic. Oh, there's not enough people for a mic. Yeah, there is.
There
It's
is.
a fucking show, and if there's 2 people there, talking the fucking mic.
Yeah, talk into it, and then unless the mic is broken, the mic
Still hold
is
it.
good.
You
The
never
mic
know when
is
it's going to
nice.
come back.
You never know. It's so we just recorded 2 days ago, and
Yeah.
I think 3 days ago, Monday.
Monday night. Yeah.
Who knows?
And
It's Thursday now.
night.
And they're doing a show downstairs, and I looked at the lineup and I said, "It's an outrage. I'm not on this." And did not get the laugh I was hoping for. By the way,
Is that how you just approach every club? That's how I approach every club now.
that's why not? Why not?
Why am I not headlining here?
Why? What just happened?
Look,
How'd you miss this?
I've looked at your calendar.
Oh, I did email a booker one time.
You did?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I said, I've looked at your calendar. I literally said, this is no offense to, and then I named names.
Yeah.
And I said, it's not that they don't have any better credits than I do, and they're wonderful comics, but so am I. Can I please have a week? And they gave me a week, and never again.
Oh,
They gave me the worst
Is that the
of
one
the-
where you said it didn't go well?
Well, the one time, thank you so much for agreeing.
I
That there's
thought you.
only
No,
one
no, no.
time
I thought
didn't
that was
go
a
well.
story that you were
It's,
repeating. So I wanted
possibly.
to clarify that it was the same story.
I don't think so. It
Oh,
was,
okay.
It was.
Good. I'm
Who
glad.
cares? They don't book me.
But good.
It's-
Fuck them. They should all be booking you, and I'm
Everyone
glad.
should. Yeah,
that,
everyone should be.
that
Booked. There shouldn't be a
These
problem.
people did.
As we
You
backpedal
are
around each other.
battling systemic sexism, and
Yes, I feel that, and it's an uphill battle, you guys. Here's speaking of sexism.
yeah.
My father's 80th birthday was yesterday, and I forgot. Of course, it's not that big of a deal. He'll be 81 next year, and so
Oh, I remember those days.
I remember the
My
halcyon
dad will have
days.
another birthday next year. Must be nice.
I talked to him the day before his birthday. So,
Yeah.
and I was like, because he called me to tell me that Maria's in the April issue of Reader's Digest. I'm not even kidding. Her joke about
they're
not
just
liking
printing her
cooking.
jokes?
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
printing her jokes. Maria
Yeah.
Bamford comic, and my dad he left the message, and it was so funny. I tried to download it
Mm-hmm.
and upload it to my Tumblr, but it whatever. I don't have thumbs right now, and so so I called him today, and I was like, hey, I just sent you the lamest birthday present in the world because I didn't know what you wanted. And he was like, cash, always cash. And I'd love to tell you he was kidding.
Kids aren't supposed to give their parents cash.
No. Traditionally, children do not
the
give
reverse, right?
Right, and but to this day, whenever I receive a card, I always hope there's $1 in it, even if it's from like a friend or a stranger, or if it's a sympathy card.
Sure.
It doesn't even fucking
Sorry
matter.
about your father.
loss.
Here's $10.
Yes, and here's so he told me that his girlfriend sent him, who's one of his whatever. Who cares? This woman sent him a birthday card with $50 in it, and he was psyched. And I said, "Well, you're getting my new album, Dad." And it was like the lamest gift ever. Next year it'll be a headshot. And
You're
then-
giving him a hard copy though, not a download.
yeah, no,
card.
he doesn't
Oh.
have the internet, so
Yeah.
he could just stare at it for a long time. And I wrote on it the CD I wrote, "Remember that I love you."
And how's it doing?
It's doing good. It's
Yeah?
doing good. It's still number 6 on iTunes,
That's
and I haven't
awesome.
even talked to anyone about it.
What do you
and
mean? You
then-
haven't done your?
I haven't been doing social media as much.
Oh, yeah.
and plus 2 weeks I've been out of the off the grid. Kind
Yeah.
of. So
That's great.
yeah, this is day 15 of this damn cold, and so the thing's been out I think for 3 weeks.
One of our writers is having an ongoing cold too. So
Does he have this same thing?
I don't know. I think,
Or is he in? Is he in the office?
yeah, he's in the office. Yeah.
Oh, poor
But he had a
bastard, man.
scratchy voice for a while.
Okay.
That's cool.
I went to the doctor and I was like, "This has to be a strep or something," and he goes, No, it's just a really bad cold." And I was like, "Why do I have 2 earaches and there's shards of glass in my throat?" And he was like, "Yeah, but no infection."
2 ears. That's what accounts for both earaches.
Yeah, that's why there's both earaches. It was pretty bad. Anyway, I was being very brave, and now it's almost over, you guys. Our great national nightmare of my fucking cold is almost over.
I'm gonna have a meeting tomorrow to talk about releasing the stand-up part of my special on a CD.
Yes.
Not the documentary
Yeah,
part.
yeah, just the middle 45
skip
jokes.
the tears, and go right to the laughter.
Yeah.
Right to the jokes that make me seem
Make friends.
feelingless and heartless. So I think there's CISO has an 8-month buyout, and
Okay.
then so July 29th would be the soonest I could release the
CISO
CD.
sounds fucking sane. 8-month buyout is amazing.
just for the audio. I mean, they own the special for 3 years, and then
Right. And
yeah.
3 years for the video, it's fine.
Yeah, that's great.
And then what I always say about, because the Horcrux album was both a DVD and a CD,
Mm-hmm.
but they're 2 different sets. The Friday second show was the CD.
Oh, interesting.
Was the DVD. And Saturday second show was the CD, actually,
Okay.
which is weird. But the DVD is actually 10 minutes longer.
Oh,
And so when people are like, which one should I get, the Horcrux DVD? And I was like, do you have the skill to rip a DVD, the audio? Because then you could have them both. And and just listen to that extra 10 minutes. Live it up. Mm-hmm. It's a
well,
really
this
good
will be
story.
shorter. You're sick.
so true.
This will be shorter, so this will be like probably 42 minutes.
About 40
of
minutes,
stand-up.
yeah. That's
But
great.
It's all targeted,
all-
specific.
It's on point. And
Yes.
and so you cut it up into,
Cut it up, and then I guess
Label
yeah.
told me that if you can get a track that's over 10 minutes, it makes people have to buy the entire album.
What do you mean?
Like, how I tend to cut them up into 1977 Billy Joel said that all songs should be 3.5 minutes long so they get airtime, right?
Okay.
So I try to cut them into 3.5 minute bits.
It's always good to take 1977 Billy Joel's advice.
Don't you think?
For
it's
comedy.
Sure, and of course dating. So I'm seeing Christy Brinkley right now, and so anyway, but there wasn't, and I didn't want to do it. I don't ever want it, but they say if you can find a 10-minute chunk and make that one track, people have to buy the whole album. And I said, well, people have to
But why? Why? Because it costs long.
because
costs
you
more?
make more money or something
Okay.
if they buy the whole album versus buying it by
well,
track.
I'll bring that up with my producer.
Please bring that up with your people.
I watched. I didn't watch Dave Chappelle's. I watched like part of the first one.
Okay, because it's two
Two
1-hour
of them,
deals,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And
Or is it
he's-
2 2-hour ones?
I don't know how long they are.
Yeah.
But he kind of he's just amazing in a way where he reminds me of. Did you ever read Angela's Ashes?
No, I avoided it on purpose. I have to tell you, it's sad. Super sad. Was it
It is.
amazing?
It's amazing because he
I heard
tells
the prose was great.
he tells the story from a child's point of view. So he doesn't comment on anything. He doesn't try to put anything in a context. He's showing you what he's seeing growing up in poverty.
Okay.
And an abusive, physical
With
abuse.
it's literally just the perspective of the child.
And it's written in a way so that you, the reader, get outraged. You're like, "What the fuck? This is horrible."
Right.
But the narrator isn't outraged.
Right.
And Chappelle is like that as a comic when he's talking about like he'll tell a story about getting pulled over by the police or something, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And he is not mad, and he has some kind of distance that I can't. It's always astonishing to me the distance he has from it, where he doesn't seem furious in a way that you think he would be. Do you remember that first story he told a long time ago? I forget which special it was about. The cops arresting him in his own house, thinking he broke in.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say the N-word, but
Right.
he broke in and put pictures of his family all over the apartment. I never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And he had just,
great.
and when Chappelle was telling it,
It's matter of fact.
he's not furious. He's almost enjoying it in a way. It's like he's watching from above, even though it's happening to him, which is a very unusual quality. And I don't have it where
You do so have it.
no, I don't. I feel very angry all the time and furious, and I don't feel any distance from my life.
anything?
When I'm on stage. No, it seems like I don't know if he has to work to make himself feel distant from it, or if that's his natural personality. But how could you sustain all these sort of racist assaults for so long and not have a visible fury, when
Well-
you're discussing it? And I'm not saying that just talking with white people. I'm just saying when you're discussing that actual incident,
Right,
to
the
have
things that happen to you.
smile while you're telling it, and to sort of look like you are
is
a
what
camera
happens.
instead of the person that was in it. You are such an observer. You weren't even a person in it. It's
You're
really
the lens that showed
yes,
it.
it's
Yeah.
fascinating. It's fascinating. I don't know how he does it.
You don't feel like, okay, because you're right. I said that you do it, but I don't think you actually do, because that's not your style of stand-up. But
No.
as a woman, whenever I talk to other women and they explain something sexist that's happened to them, they're like, "Yeah, it was weird. This guy was like, 'Why are you crawling up my leg here? You're just,' and we're just sitting next to each other, and but that's shit happens, and so there's that distance that can happen with sexism as well. But I think it's when it's as beautifully done as when Chappelle does it, because he doesn't just have that distance that most, like, I've seen a lot of women comics who could talk about sexism and have that distance, have that sort of bird's eye view.
I
And
don't
they're
know
like,
anyone that does. I feel like that almost every comic I know, when they're talking about some kind of assault on them that is based on
Maybe it's just me then, because the thing is like I talk about the bus thing, and I talk about the
But I still feel your rage.
I'm not mad about. Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
It's So you don't feel any rage from him, but you feel it from me when I talk about that other stuff.
Oh, just a little bit, but just
Okay.
enough to go. Yeah, he almost.
I mean, and it's not. It's comparable, but not
He
comparable.
really
right?
it's almost like he floats out of his body and watches the whole scene he's in, which is almost a thing that happens when people are surviving abuse. Is they kind of pretend it's not happening to them. That's a thing that happens, and so I don't know him very well, so I'm just saying
know
it's
him at
a
all.
common thing,
Yeah.
but it's almost like when he, as a comic, when he's describing these events that would have other comics frothing and pacing and yelling, and you know what I mean, in a funny
just-
way,
yeah, he's just
but
leaning-
amping it up.
Yeah.
and he's so almost physically removed from it too. You can see his body isn't getting angry. He's just sort of narrating it.
Well, that's neat.
It's very compelling. You know?
It
I don't know
would
what
be.
to
It
say.
would be. But the thing, it's what you were saying about Angela's Ashes is that when you're raised like that, The Room, it was called, or
Right.
Room or
The
whatever.
movie?
Yeah, the
Room,
movie.
Room.
And you don't know how other people's families are raised. You
Right.
don't know how other people are raised. So if you get beat as a child,
Mm-hmm.
people get beat, and don't. be in that
Right.
the wrong place at the wrong time, and you probably won't get hit. And is how you are raised thinking. So what you're saying is that he's like, these are the things that happen to me because I am me. But I am also part of this larger group that and because you can see that this is something happening to an entire group. He's saying that it's happening to him.
The bit that I noticed it again, I've noticed it every time I watch him, is he was just talking about he and a friend were driving. His friend was driving. He was in the passenger seat, and they got pulled over. And it's a story about getting pulled over by white cops in Los Angeles. And and now you're like, oh God, what's going to happen? And as you're watching, you're like, oh. And he's not mad at the cops. He's not mad. He's just sort of, he sees the cops' foibles as what they are, And
Do you remember that Hannibal Buress bit that he did about getting pulled over by the cops?
Hannibal kind of has that quality as well.
Right, except for that it feels more, can you believe this is happening kind of thing. What
Yeah.
you're saying is that the compelling part of what Chappelle's doing is that it's a more of a detached, he's just telling you. It's not,
Yeah.
it's so compelling because you're like, are you kidding me? But Hannibal, the way I heard him, and it was probably weeks after it had happened.
Yeah.
He got pulled over by this guy who was like, how do you, and the cop literally said something like, how do you afford this car? And Hannibal said, well, I'm not a cop.
Oh my God.
I'm a performer. I make a living. And and so, but Hannibal, literally was like more. It was definitely more aggressive, but it was still removed. It still had that remove of, well, I'm a man in this situation that is not. A white man would not have this problem. So I have to be aware of those things, but this is the bullshit that happens. So he had more that, you know what, that fascinates me. I want to watch that. That makes me even more want to. I haven't seen a lot of Chappelle stand up because I don't know him, and he's always in New York and I'm never. And I ran into him one time at Fred Siegel's, at the coffee shop in Fred Siegel's, and I literally. I think it was when his TV show was on.
Yeah.
Which I had only seen parts of because I didn't have cable.
Yeah.
And I genuinely, I was like, what are you going to say to him? Hey, I'm a comic too? How are you going to introduce yourself? What the fuck?
Right.
And so he sat down next to me waiting for his to-go order, and I was sitting there eating my salad. And as he got up to take his to-go order, and I said, hey, I think I said something like, you're really good at stand-up comedy. That is exactly, I believe, the verbatim. That's what I need.
I like your Midwestern compliments. They're very meaty and true.
They are true.
They're not
and
elaborate.
You don't need to. You're very good at stand-up comedy. And he
You
was
are
like, "Thank
effective
you."
at your chosen profession.
Your chosen profession.
Enjoy your meal.
Well played. I hope you enjoy that sandwich or whatever the fuck. So,
I worked with him at Go Bananas in Cincinnati.
oh wow, for a weekend.
Definitely once and maybe twice.
I never worked Go Bananas. People ask me about it at Cincinnati.
I haven't worked it in a long time.
Yeah.
I worked it when John Chung booked it, but I haven't worked it since Mikey took over. But then
Okay.
I haven't been trying that much. But still, I haven't been asked.
I can
It's one of those podcasts when we start
Exactly.
listing people that haven't pursued
Oh,
us.
that's right. And then I say things like, when I was a kid, I remember my stepmother always saying that adult men named Mikey and Jimmy and Billy should only be bartenders.
He might be Mike now. He was started very young there.
So he was just a Ute.
Yeah.
He was a.
And then I've one time I was at the Punchline. I was working in San Francisco with Tony Kameen. I think we were co-headlining, and Chappelle wanted to come in and do time, and so we got bumped down. We got the same money and stuff.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to do my time.
Well, always
Yeah.
want to do your.
I wasn't like, yay. Other people would be like, oh, cool, Chappelle. I was like, oh.
Right. You're just like, well, why can't he just
I
do?
know. Can he
shorter?
just, if he's going to do 4 hours anyway, can he do it after I do 45
So
instead
what
of,
does he care? What does he care?
Yeah.
Yeah. No
But
kidding. It
yeah.
was-
And then word got out and the shows were packed and you just felt people waiting for us to finish.
yeah. Fuckers.
We know Chappelle's back there. Shut up.
Yeah. Why are you open? And then they can leave. And then I
No. because he does hours.
Yeah. Did he
Yeah.
do hours?
I think so.
Yeah.
I watched as much as I could.
Yeah.
I think people know we can't stand comedy, right?
No, I don't want to.
But
I
you
don't
know,
want to watch anyone for 3 hours.
yeah, I'm like tired, and I'm not comfortable standing and watching. It's I like to
Oh,
pop
no.
in and then walk away. I don't, and I
do
I
laps.
hover. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, me too. Yeah, yeah, and just sit. It's really painful. It's hard.
Pick up a joke or two.
Yeah.
Go around. Think,
Yeah.
I wonder how long they're going to be up there.
Yeah.
And then do another. He's like, do you think I can get a workout?
Stepping on anything I do. Wait a minute.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I was at just now. I came right from UCB Sunset. I did
Oh, yeah, fresh out.
Yeah,
How was it?
it was cool. Let's see. I kind of tried some new stuff, and then I tried some new stuff at last night. I was at newish, ideas.
Yeah.
A couple of them went nowhere, and then
I hate that.
I know, but the other thing I was thinking, like, Chappelle was. So we talked about that story, and then again, I didn't watch the whole one, much less the other one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's definitely doing stories, and he's talking about pop culture and stuff like that, and
Stories and pop culture?
yeah. What was he
wait a
commenting
minute.
on?
What is he doing? It's not observational.
Yeah, it's that too. But
Okay.
it's not all this happened to me and now I'm going to talk about it. It's some of it's just
I bought a new
commenting on
Coke, and let me
conversation.
tell you about how I went to
Yeah.
the store.
Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Okay, something like that.
Right, but something not from 1992, or whatever. Yeah.
Do you have a yearly thing where you just update all your references? You got to update your riff references once a year.
Once
Sit down
a year,
January
get
1st.
on it.
Get
When?
new Coke out.
New
Put
Coke.
tab back in.
Back in. Tab's been
back.
rotated. Tab is back, you guys. A lot of people. Yeah.
But it's I mean, maybe I can convert myself to being a comic that talks about. I
People
don't
do.
know. I don't know.
People turn it into one-liner comics. You could.
Really?
Nobody I like, but
But from being storytellers, they
Yeah, like,
they
I've
condense
seen-
themselves.
yeah,
like
I've
that?
seen people go into like writing jobs, and then they have to write monologue jokes, but they were storytelling comics.
Are
to
you
begin with.
subtweeting me right now? I am right here.
Oh my God! Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Who else are you talking about?
I don't mean to burst a bubble here, but I know 10,000 fucking comics.
Monologue. There's very specific monologue joke writers
Right, and so
who were stand-ups.
fine. Here you go.
Write a name.
I'm writing a name. There you go. You don't know him. Congratulations.
I can't read that last name though.
Greg Fiddler. I've written a
Wow,
name down,
what
and
a-
then what a mystery that nobody else knows him either.
Where did
for
he-
years
who did he write
wrote
for?
He wrote for Letterman. This is a great story that isn't mine. Let me tell it. Greg Fiddler, Minneapolis comic, really
Oh.
funny guy, road guy.
Yeah.
And so he remember the fax contracts that there used to be.
Yeah.
Where you'd fax in 10 jokes a day, and then if they bought them, they'd give you $500 or $50 a joke or whatever, right?
Right.
So he had a contract, a fax joke contract with Letterman, and he had to come up with 10 or 20 jokes a day to fax into Letterman every day, and
That's a couple hours work.
right, and I think he got $500 a week for it.
Yeah.
And
That's
then he
just
worked
a
on the
flat
road.
fee.
It was a flat fee for that one.
That's
and then
a
there
nice
were-
little supplemental road gig.
That's exactly what, because he
But
was
you
just sitting.
got to
in his,
get near a
he-
fax machine though.
Right,
But you're
well,
at a
and it was the
hotel.
90s,
Yeah.
and he was just sitting in a Best Western,
Yeah.
churning out, getting up at, whatever Eastern,
Yeah.
reading all the papers and churning them out. And then there were always jokes left over. And so he started faxing them to Leno. And Leno would buy them at $50 a pop.
Oh.
And so.
and while he was selling
Letterman?
other stuff to Letterman.
Yeah, the stuff Letterman didn't want, he would
Interesting.
sell to Leno. And so it never came up until there was an interview with him at the Star Tribune, Minneapolis
Oh,
Star
no.
Tribune. And he told the writer, and the writer published it. And, I don't know what Google alert was in 94, but Letterman fired him.
Google didn't exist till like 2000.
I think so. So whatever it was,
Letterman fired him?
yeah, Letterman fired him.
Yeah, sure.
And get this, Leno called him. They both found out about it, and Leno himself called him and said, "Hey, I'm in Mystic Lake. I'm doing a casino. Do you want to come down and talk to me for a second?" And so next week, the following week, and so he goes down. And he's like, "It wasn't very bright." And that's my Leno impression, by the way. He goes, "There's a reason I don't do impressions," but he goes, "That wasn't very smart, but are you moving out to L.A.?" And he goes, "I was thinking about it. I don't know." And he goes, "Well, one of my guys is going on." Baby leave, paternity
leave, yeah.
And so he's going to be gone for 6 weeks. If you want, you can have his job for 6 weeks. It'll get you in the union. It'll get you it'll get you steak, and it'll get you good credit. But you cannot have his job. He's coming back. And Fiddler was like, "Yeah, of course, I would love that." And so he came to L.A. and that's when he moved to L.A. and he worked for Leno for 6 weeks, and then. He went on to he worked for The Soup, he had a bunch of other jobs, but he ended up working for The Soup with Joel McHale for years and producing and whatever.
You are crafty enough to work for Letterman and Leno and you can't tell anybody, that's hell. I mean, you got to tell somebody.
Right. I don't know.
You got to tell somebody.
It's one of the greatest stories.
What a scam. I love it.
It's a wonderful story and makes Leno look like a decent guy, Because he's like... Yeah, well, that was weird. What'd you do that for? You're the perfect gig, man. And then he got a perfecter gig, so.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
And so he was a one-liner guy, but he also did stories. And then he went and he wrote these things on purpose. Like he did more stories when he was on stage. And then he became a one-liner guy. And it was weird to watch it. It was like watching someone turn into a vampire, Laurie Gilmartin. What?
Well, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, become a storyteller.
I'm not a storyteller. I'm not a storyteller.
I don't know why that's a trigger word. Why is that a trigger word? I did a storytelling show at the Yoo-Hoo Room.
Yeah,
and everybody went up and then just did their fucking act. Yeah, and because there's stories in every joke, obviously.
Yeah,
the old rule of alt comedy: tell the story of how you wrote the joke and then tell the punchline. That's the rule of alt comedy in my head.
I didn't know that. I've never heard that before.
That was my theory.
That's kind of genius. That's absolutely true.
Which is why I got very popular with alt comics in '99 because that's how I've always told them my jokes. Do you know the other day I was explaining one of my jokes to somebody, and
while you were on stage?
No, I was Joke Machine.
Okay.
And so I was explaining my joke.
You were writing.
I guess we were writing. And so I was telling...
I don't like the word storyteller, and I don't like the phrase joke machine.
Whatever it was, we were churning out some jokes. Laurie.
Thank you.
All right. So
you're writing. It's fucking writing.
Okay, so... But I wasn't telling the joke. I was telling the idea of the joke. Mm-hmm. And it turns out the idea of the joke is the fucking joke. Because it's, here's the setup, here's the punchline. Guess what? That'll do. That's all people are looking for.
Yeah.
Why don't you... Shh. Anyway, I got... but at the Yoo-Hoo Room, I got something that I've always rejected. I've always been just bitter about whenever I've done it, and I did it, and I'm doing it now, and I'm purposely doing it to some extent, but I gloss over it as quickly as possible.
What?
It's what I call a nostalgia joke.
Yeah.
It's when you mention something that is nostalgic, and you get a response from the audience that is almost a laugh, but it isn't. It is not a real laugh.
Yeah.
I don't deserve that laugh. That is a laugh of recognition, and fuck that laugh, except for that, fine.
You are right to orphan that laugh.
That laugh can fucking bite me. But that laugh is... I need to say the thing that I say to get into the rest of the bit.
No, of course you do.
Right. And so when they laugh at it, but there's a tiny part of me that's like, that felt nice, that laugh. And you're like, no, that's not your laugh. Don't quit being happy about that laugh.
We know comics who think that's
a real laugh.
Yeah.
It's not a real laugh, you guys.
And they've built an entire career saying, remember this. Yeah. But that's not you.
That is not me.
You're allowed to do one on the way to a real joke.
Right. On the way to a real joke.
You gotta give yourself a little leeway.
Yes.
You can't be so strict all the time. Hold on.
What else you got?
I don't know. How much time have we done?
Oh wait, let's 34. So let's talk about. Shall I?
Oh, yes.
Comic of the week, Barbara Holm. You
Yes.
guys, San Francisco comic, Barbara Holm.
Very funny.
Who I could
HOLM.
HOLM. Always thought she was from Portland. Consistently. Until the point-
Every female comic's from Portland.
I think so. I think they're churning them out. They're joke machining them up there. And but Barbara Holm is great. She does. It's dry, but it's super witty and it's smart and it's goofy and funny, and she's really fun.
Yep.
So find Barbara Holm up in the Bay Area, and book her wherever she wishes to be booked. I guess is what I'm saying because I like Barbara Holm.
Lydia Popovich wrote a Facebook post where she just listed she's from San Francisco and she just talked about how it was nonstop stage time, tons of women on shows, but it wasn't it was just like they're half the population and they're half the acts,
Right.
And then down here in Los Angeles, it's not it's not the same proportion.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes one woman a show, and she just said was an ode to San Francisco and how many really funny women came out of San Francisco and what a
Yeah.
great place it is to start as a female comic.
Yeah.
Because you're one of.
Right. Kyle, did you find her Twitter? Is it just at Barbara Holm?
Barbara_Holm.
Barbara_Holm, HOLM. Do eat. Yeah, she's great, and there is a great scene up there. That time before the album dropped, I did a short run up there.
Did you do Doc's Lab?
I did Doc's Lab, but I
love
also
that
did
room.
a game store
Oh yeah.
that had a long room, and then and and I came back and I told you about those comics. I remember that. It was go back to the December episode of Jackie and Laurie because I can't remember anybody's name. It was great. So, guess what? When this drops, by the way, I'm going to be in Peoria.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, when this one goes up.
that weekend.
It'll be the following weekend. I'll be back in Peoria, you guys. The non-existent Peoria of this weekend will be next weekend.
I will have just gotten back from New York, right? Because this
I
is
think so.
dropping on the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Hopefully, I had a great time.
Hopefully, you had a lovely time.
I can't wait to not be responsible for anybody. Like
Right.
the hardest thing about having a kid is feeling like I should be doing more, and it's this constant guilt of.
Oh,
you
am
know,
I
doing
raising
this
all of him?
Yeah, or just like, is it okay if you watch his YouTube while I just fucking veg out? Can I do that, or must I be? Should we be learning German together? Or, and it's nonstop, and when I'm away from him, there's nothing I can do.
Right.
Right.
He's not there.
And
Why aren't you FaceTiming? Oh, screw you.
yeah, really. Screw you. Absolutely. Screw
Because
you.
the thing is FaceTime is
I don't want him on a screen.
no, and that should just be a good morning or good night kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing where you're just like, hey, I like seeing your face. Go have a great day.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
And hey, sleep good. I love you. That's all
Maybe
it
I'll
should
try
be.
that this time. I haven't been doing that. I like to completely detach from from people I love
Oh,
and humans in general.
I have a friend of mine.
I just want to go on walks and maybe go to a museum. I don't have anything I have to do. I'm supposed to get an edit back from my editor
Yeah.
like the 14th of April, but that's not till the week I get back. So I really have a full week before
Where you
shit is
literally
rained down.
could just
down on
lie
me.
there.
Yes, until
You
Ev
could wallow
shows.
in Irish literature. You could just
Yeah.
bury yourself in moss.
Yes, and my white bed sheets. I have a white duvet. I love it. Oh,
It's nice.
Yeah.
All that cotton.
yeah.
It's so beautiful, the weather here right now. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow I'm going to go buy veg to plant in the garden and then plant on Saturday.
Did you always think you'd be able, like, as a road comic for a long time, I'm like, I can't have a kid, I can't have a plant, I can't have this, I can't have that. Like, I
Right.
never, even now, I'm still just, my kid wants a dog, but I don't,
Right, you're like, one more
I go
thing
to
I
New
would
York.
have to take
Yeah,
care of.
I would have to take care of it every weekend. And when I go to New York, I don't know what I do. And
Couldn't he take it to his dad's?
no, his dad won't let him do that.
Oh.
So it's
So neither of you want a dog, essentially.
well, I just don't want to have to do it all the time.
No, it would be your dog. Yeah, you wouldn't. You would have a dog. If
And he
you've
wants
always
a pug. I don't want that fucking frowning face looking at me. But
the enemies.
my
You've made.
mom
the
looks.
enemies.
My mom looks like a pug all the time, just sort of looking up. Sort of you know how they look. They look confused.
I'm aware. I'm aware of how pugs look.
That's
Yes.
why my mom looks all the time.
Get him a hedgehog. Get him a guinea pig. Get him a.
I'd want a pit bull if I got a dog. I love pit bulls.
Do you?
Yeah,
I want like a golden retriever or a lab or a shepherd.
labs are great. Yeah,
Yeah, I just
but
want
they need a lot of action, man.
They really do. And even worse would be like a spaniel, which needs to be run.
Yeah.
Those dogs need to frickin' run. And a pug, at least, you don't have to do
you can
anything.
hear them breathe.
Right, their eyes pop out. There's trouble. Yes, it's but people love them. And in New York, I have a friend who has a pug, and we play Slug Pug. It was a great game. You would love this. No, you'd hate
Is
this
this
fucking
much?
game.
Is this like Joke Machine? Were you in the pug?
No, it's like Slug Bug, but every time you see a pug, you punch somebody in the arm.
How much time have we done?
40.
40.
Okay, I'm going to Ireland. I booked it.
Oh
I bu-
yes.
so
Where
we're
are you
gonna-
flying into?
Dublin. And
Cool.
Dublin, and then gonna do the festival.
Yeah.
And then gonna drive down to Iris, which is
IRIS.
Eyereis,
Okay.
which is 4.5 hours south of Dublin.
Is that near Cork?
It is south of Cork.
Okay.
It's on some crazy peninsula. I'm sure
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. And then Andy wants to go to Galway. And
Galway's amazing.
yeah, and
The
then
Spanish Arch and
oh yeah,
yeah.
okay.
There a
We're gonna spend
ship
5
ran
days.
aground.
Oh, cool.
A whole bunch of Spaniards died, like soldiers, but a bunch of them walked onto the shores and started hooking up with the Irish women, and that's where you get the phrase "Black Irish" because they
Okay.
have the like black hair,
Yeah.
you know, the dark Spanish coloring. It's still
Baron
hundreds
Vaughn.
of years
Baron
later.
Vaughn. He's Black Irish. Have you ever heard that joke? Of this? All right.
No, I haven't.
I don't even know if that's even him. I literally, I might be conflating.
Oh my god,
Oh,
this
well.
is so awkward.
It's not as awkward as now it is. Anyway, so
You know, I like to take any potential racial awkwardness of yours
let's
and
blow it up.
magnify
Let's
it.
blow it up. It's let me call him. It's so yeah. So really, I mean, we're gonna spend 5 days, and then get this: we're going to Iceland.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna go to Iceland, and I had to buy a separate flight from Dublin to Reykjavik.
Yeah.
Through something called WOW Airlines.
I've heard of them.
It is essentially the Spirit Airlines
Yeah.
of Europe. And so they nickeled and dimed me to death. But here they did it all online. I was like, yes, I will pay for luggage. Yes,
Yeah.
I will pay for a seat. Yes, I will pay.
no, really?
Yeah, if you don't get to pick a seat unless you give them $7.
That's not
and I was
much.
Like, no, I was like, here's $7.
Yeah.
And then you don't get to bring luggage on unless you give them, I think it was $25 or $50. Oh no, it was $59 for both of us, so $30 a pop.
Okay.
And then it's fine. Yeah, just tell me going in that I should pack a lunch
Yeah.
or a bottle of water, and it won't be a problem. And so and then we're gonna be in Iceland
Yeah.
for 7 days. And get this, there's no hotels. We don't have a place to stay.
Airbnb.
Well, Annie is signed up. We don't, and we've rented a car. And the woman, the Delta
What do you
woman,
mean there's no hotels in Iceland?
there's no hotels available. We're going at the height of the season.
Oh.
And the woman on the phone was like, "Well, you will have your car." And I said, "I'm 50. What part of that did you think I was going to sleep in my fucking car?"
You'll find something.
Oh, completely.
Airbnb.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Who cares? And yeah, we're
You
gonna
guys
drive
could
around.
probably get a yurt or some kind of tent or some kind of. There's probably some kind of funky
Yeah,
nature
yeah.
situation you could do.
Well, yeah, we could cabin it somehow. We could go to the Blue Lagoon, which is the big thing to do there because
Oh,
there's like
really?
a geyser, and then there's a day trip to a volcano, and then there's another day trip. And I'm like, is there a geyser, which means there's a spa? Because that's what Jackie Cation is interested in: a massage, possibly a facial.
You know what? I went to in Burbank on
Yeah.
Magnolia. There's a
Yep.
there's a Finnish spa, and it's $30, and you can, as long as you want, you can hang out in there.
That's great. The Korean spa is like that too.
Well, I went there. I went to
But
the
Burbank is closer,
one. Yeah,
yeah.
it's closer. And I went in. And I melted. And then I started fascia blasting. You know, rubbing
All
that
right.
thing. like an asshole
In the locker room?
in the sauna.
No. So gross. So gross.
No one was there, and when a lady came in, I put it away. I said, "It's
Yeah, because you know it's not right.
I go, it's a massage tool."
I know. I just wanted to leave a little of my DNA in your water. So
It doesn't
foul.
scrape anything, and you know it.
You too. You're saying that there's no skin follicles that come off when
No,
you fascia
it
blast.
doesn't-
No, actually, I might believe you only because I think you're fascia blasting if you have 20 minutes. I think that all of the parts of you that could be fascia blasted have been fascia blasted, so
It's
there
not
is no extra.
exfoliating.
But you're rolling it on your skin, so I would think it would be. But I bet you've worked off all of your skin. You don't have any dead skin.
But
on
it's
you. You're all alive.
Either way, it wouldn't remove dead skin. Don't die on this hill, Jackie. It doesn't exfoliate.
This isn't how I should go down.
No.
Let it go. Let it go. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. You have 20 minutes left.
Somebody asked me, "Hey, can you give me? I want to work this club you work,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
I want that. Can you hook it up?" So I
Can
said,
you reference me.
I told him, I go, I'll ask the club owner. I'll mention your name, and I'll say, can I give him your email? Can I give this guy your email?
Right.
And the
That
club
was
owner
very nice.
said, you can, but I've seen him, and I'm not
Not it.
going to book him.
Okay.
What do I do?
Well, this is interesting because people consistently ask me if I'll recommend them and if there's anything I can do. And I'm like, there's nothing. Like, if I believe in them, I've done it twice in, I think. That's above and beyond to actually go to the booker and say, hey, this is someone who's funny, that I think is funny. Can I give him your email to
Yeah.
book? And, but now that you've gotten a negative back, you just go, you know what? He said no. Just tell him that he said no. Because he did, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy you could do exactly what the booker said.
Yeah.
Which is give him that guy's email, and with the caveat that you say he's not into it, but if you keep it and you send your avails every 6 months for the next 6 years, you may eventually get work there. Which is what I do. I mean,
Yeah.
I just keep sending avails, and eventually, you know, when club owners, you know, that whole thing is like, you got funny in the last 6 months. You ever
Yeah, but
have
we
any
do
of the
that.
club?
We do that every fifth comic of the week.
Well, but it is true that there are plateaus and there are leaps. And
Yeah,
there are plateaus
sure.
and leaps. But I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, "Fuck you! I've always been funny. You should have always booked me."
Yeah.
And now, like 20 years later, I can look back at that and go, "No, I probably hit something and jumped a hurdle."
Yeah.
You know.
Should I have given the club owner's email to the guy and then just said, keep my name
just-
out of it?
Yeah, that's another way to do it. I mean, if you want to go to bat for somebody, I say go to bat for them. And if you don't want to go to bat for them, you can just give them the email because
I don't
that's
wanna
that
go
guy's
to-
job.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He decided
I mean,
to book a comedy club.
Yeah.
So fucking you wade through this bullshit. I'm
Right.
swearing a lot, but whatever.
You're ill. You're still sick.
I am still sick, but
all
so
right.
much better.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. But yeah, I think so. You didn't want to go to bat, or you don't want to go to bat for anyone, kind of.
No, it's not that. It's just it's like I only want to contact bookers when I need spot. I don't want to be the person they're like, oh, here she is with another friend, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But
Well, see, all I can think right now is, why the fuck aren't you working Acme this week? You have the week off. You could have worked Acme.
this is my first. It was starting on Friday.
No, like starting like next weekend.
Next
you could
week?
have worked
Oh, because
Tuesday
I wanted
through Saturday.
I don't think I sent him. I should have, but I also wanted to go to New York for a week.
Okay,
But I should
because,
have.
because that you would love that.
No,
club.
but I now have someone that's booking some road work for me,
Oh,
so I
that's nice.
send her my avails, and she's
doing it?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's cool.
cool.
Yeah,
That's nice. God, I'm going to Winnipeg. I will have already been in Winnipeg, and hopefully it will all have gone well.
yeah,
Because I've been so sick, I haven't been able to write because I'm doing a couple of theme shows,
yeah.
and so
In
I was
Winnipeg?
in Winnipeg.
Are you working with Maria?
No, I'm doing the Winnipeg Comedy Festival, and so
Okay.
I'm doing like a Canadian TV show where I'm just doing a set
Right.
and it's a theme, and that's fine. I'm just
Oh.
doing my act,
Yeah.
and then I'm doing a show called The Debaters, and it's got homework, because I did it once last.
It's like Tough Crowd or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I did it last year, and essentially two comics debate each other about something absurd.
Yeah.
And the last one that I did is King Kong or Tarzan the real king of the jungle? And I had Tarzan, of course, and of course won. But this, because Tarzan is
Neither,
the-
of course, are evident. Like, it's like, I wasn't like, oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Of course, Tarzan. And of course, the crux, well, not of course, the crux of my argument was that
Yeah.
King Kong is king of the apes.
Right.
Tarzan's already king of the jungle. He's got more of a hierarchy.
No,
It's
you're
fine.
right.
Yeah. And it was incontrovertible. But this one is
You're
it's
so cocky. I mean, we've
I'm pretty cocky
seen you
about my
with
Tarzan
Power,
love.
and
I love my
now you're arrogant.
And the weird thing is I genuinely have a love. It is weird, but I love Tarzan.
Yeah, that is
And
weird.
It is a weird thing to be in favor of, and I've never read the books, the original books, because I understand that they're full of like this sort of great white hunter racism that
It's
I'm like,
always so disappointing.
It's-
I told
it's-
you
it
when I
doesn't
was
hold up.
reading one of the Little House books.
yeah, you
Oh,
glazed over
Right. I'm like,
some of the
one of the songs, Pa. I remember Pa as Michael Landon, and all of a
Yep.
sudden I'm like, oh, Pa.
Pa,
Don't-
not
please
now.
don't sing this, Pa.
don't sing this, and I'm not singing it to my son. That's
I
what we know.
My God.
Yeah, that's Crazyville. So
My son wants to take improv.
I saw that post today.
Yeah.
It's an indictment against your work.
Everything I've.
Actually, it'll be good for him. Actually, there's nothing wrong.
I
with
think
it.
everyone should take improv.
Yes. Yes.
But you shouldn't stay in it. Get out and get a job. Don't stay in
Did you
improv,
not
for
read-
God's sake.
Did you not read Bossy, whatever, Tina Fey's book?
Yeah, I did.
Because she talks about how improv is a cult. And she's
Oh,
like, it is
yeah.
a cult, but you know what? And then my favorite line, what's your cult done for you? I'll tell you what my cult has done for me. And then she's a litany of things that...
Fuck. Yeah, there's
so-
no argument. I think I've already said this before,
I know
but I
you'll
think
be
they're more
disappointed.
well-adjusted improv
It's-
performers than comedians.
Well, you know, I was on that nerd cruise and I was on this panel and the other three people were improv people. And when I realized it,
Yeah.
I put my mic in my lap and I let go of it.
You know you're not going to get in.
Well, because all the improv people instinctively are taught how to give and take.
Right.
As a comic, as a stand-up comic, I am
It's
not
take.
taught. It's all
take.
take. It's all take.
You give me your silence and obedience.
Exactly.
And I
so
take advantage
I
of
put
you.
them. I put it down, and then I just, and then I would purposefully pick it up when I wanted to, and then they would notice that action. And guess
Oh.
what they did? They allowed me to speak.
Brilliant.
It was almost like we were a team. Because improv people learn to be teams, and there's nothing wrong with learning how to work with other people. Well,
Yes.
how great would that be if your son grew up to have interpersonal skills?
That would be the first in our family. That would be very exciting.
See, it's so beautiful.
I think he
He could have
will.
wanted to be an actor.
Uh,
What would be worse? What would be worse? A musician? How about a musician? You
Right
want him
now-
to be a musician.
he just it's so fun. He's like he's telling piano teacher, he's like, I'm gonna write books and be a writer, and I'm, I mean,
Nice.
it's so cool.
Sure, why
he's-
not?
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I had dinner the other night with this 8-year-old, and
Wait, what?
well, I like to.
Just you and an
Just me
8-year-old
and an
out
8-year-old.
out for drinks?
me and a kid. No, it was her mom. She's from New York, and and she's a friend of Andy's from college. And
Okay. Is that's not the person you went to their memorial they were associated with, right, in New York?
No.
That you also did spots?
no,
Okay.
no, that's but she's that's interesting. No, this woman, she's a librarian at the UN, so her days are
Wow.
numbered. She's like, we're all kind of looking around.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, we're a little nervous, but
You know what? By the time this drops, Pence will be president.
right,
It
right.
feels like it.
It's so gross, that idea. They're all gross. It's just like when Dirtbag gets out of the way and you're like, oh, thank God Dirtbag got out of the way. And then
See?
other horrible person rises up from the ashes.
See, this is our anger visceral. Chappelle would just have some sort of distance already, you know?
Maybe he does. Maybe he does. So,
I wonder if he's got
he
to
do
work
political?
through it. I didn't get that far. I don't think so.
well, he definitely has to work through it.
So
I hope.
Maybe
hope so.
I don't. Again, I'm not a pot smoker. Maybe that amount of pot that if he smokes
Oh,
as much as he says he does, maybe that also creates a
the chill.
distance from your anger.
Very possible. Then it might be a problem, Dave. You might want to look into it.
Yeah, a problem that's doing.
56 million a year.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
and making him a genius. Yeah.
it's
You know what? Don't look into it, Dave. Just. And why are you listening to us?
imagine the genius that he would be, though,
Oh my god.
with access to all of his faculties.
Maybe that's our problem. We have too much access to our faculties. If we shut it down a little bit, maybe we could focus on the few faculties that are still rise from the ashes.
You know what? This is the first day I've felt good in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And Andy, all day I've been part of the village, raising other people.
Yeah.
I've been fucking bossy Magoo everywhere that I've gone. Post office, grocery store. Oh my God, helper. Fuck, shut up. And at one point, Andy said, "There's part of me that liked you when you slept a lot."
I told you last week. I fucking love a sleeping child.
Yeah, there's.
I'm driving home to one right now.
It's gonna be sweet. He's gonna be out.
Yeah. Come on,
And,
Kyle. What are we?
56.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
It's what so this will be you'll be coming back when this goes up. When will it go up, Kyle?
Not this Monday, the Monday after.
The 10th.
Right. So I'm off to Peoria.
I will have gotten back. I'll be back in LA doing spots in LA that week.
Okay, so that Sunday we'll have to record something so that there's something the following. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that week I thought
Yeah.
I'm not getting
you
off
have-
a plane and coming over here after I've been gone for a week.
No, that's it. That
won't
has
have to.
never been successful. It's and I like the idea of not doing two in a row. That doing them 2 days in a row at
Yeah.
10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Somehow makes it better. We just have more energy.
Definitely, yeah. As opposed to had we done back to back
Yeah,
on Monday?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
horrific.
back to back would not have happened because of my throat. But,
Yeah.
I think that we've done some good work here. I think we've dissected some.
Really?
Some real
Maybe I'll watch
powerful-
the rest of Chappelle's specials.
I'm on season finale of season 2 of the Great British Bake Off. You'll be happy to not know. I haven't watched anything.
Big Little Lies
Yeah,
on HBO.
yeah.
Phenomenal. Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman.
What?
Yeah. It's a 7-episode only series.
With
They're all
movie stars in it.
they're all mothers in
Yeah?
Monterey, and it's kind of behind the scenes. One of them's in an abusive relationship, and she's coming to terms with all this stuff. It's really Shailene Woodley's in it.
Yeah?
She's really good.
So it's like Real Housewives of Monterey, except for don't even go there because it's such an amazing piece.
Yeah, it's good.
Above and beyond that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of the writing and the
writing and the
acting.
acting, yeah.
Okay.
And is it Alex?
just-
Who's Skarsgård?
Okay.
The vampire from True
Twilight?
Blood.
True Blood.
Oh God.
Pretty hot.
Yeah, and there's a penis in episode 6.
You really do need to get like.
You're right.
Oh my God. No truer words, you guys. Here's something also. I'm not pregnant, you guys. I think the Terrigen mists have arrived. No.
Were you happy or excited or sad?
I was both. I was like, I was both because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this would
it would
really
totally change everything upside down.
Wow.
Topsy-turvy.
Talk about this podcast. If I were,
Oh my God, this would be so compelling.
we would sell this podcast. This podcast, well, and Nerdist would have all the money, but we would get to be in it. Yeah, how crazy? How crazy would that be?
Yeah. And there's always next month. Clearly,
no,
you're not careful.
no, we are not careful. But the thing is I think it's over. I think I'm done.
It's over for me.
It's over for you, but I
Yeah.
can't wait till it's fucking over.
Yeah.
I want to hand Just give Kyle's girlfriend all my tampons. He's like,
I left
why do you
mine
got to
in
get
the-
her involved?
I brought mine to the ladies' room at Conan.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Because people, how great is it when you go into a ladies' room and there's free tampons?
Why aren't they everywhere?
They should be everywhere.
They should be like Kleenex. Just
Yeah.
should be tampons all over the country.
Yeah.
At every rest stop, at every in every podcast booth.
Let's-
Why isn't there a
you
tampon
guys-
right now?
You guys do this. Wherever you go, leave a little box of tampons in a public restroom. And it'll be a pay it forward kind of thing for ladies everywhere.
Yes.
How cool would that be?
All right. Bye.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.